This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Lelang calls vote of no confidence as untimely. PM Marake commits to remove debt. And Aviation College graduates first aircraft engineers today. A very good evening. This is National Emtv News. I'm Tamara Agavi. Thank you for joining us. Former opposition leader Joseph Lelang made a statement that the upcoming vote of no confidence is untimely and should be moved to a further date. He stated that the timing will make the government look inconsiderate, especially after the unfortunate January 10th events. He made this statement yesterday in his last press conference as the opposition leader. The now former opposition leader explained that if the vote of no confidence is held as planned, this will reflect negatively on the government.
Papua New Guineans went through a very, very difficult time in the period and time in the country's history. We've lost billions of kina in business, in assets, properties. So many people have died, so many raped and killed. And, I would have said, listen, because the law states that you can introduce a vote of no confidence after 18 months. I would have preferred that it be delayed a bit while we all, allow for us to address this issue that we are confronted with.
Lelang stated that the government should be sensitive to the public and businesses still trying to recover from damage and destruction following the January 10th events.
And now the heavy stop yet. Our people are suffering. Business houses are trying to work out how they are going to recover. While we are here running around doing this thing, I think we need to be sensitive to what is happening and what is happening around our country. There's so much.
Lelang further stated that the people of PNG must always come first.
Leadership on both sides of the house should come to some kind of understanding. We'll introduce the vote of no confidence, but I think our people should come first.
Francisca Anania, National Emtv News. The Royal PNG Constabulary, with the assistance from the PNG Defence Force, will be providing security tomorrow to ensure normalcy in public places during the vote of no confidence. This announcement has been made today in a joint media conference at the Boroko Police Station in Port Moresby.
The acting commander of NCD and Central Police and Assistant Commissioner of Police Northern Command, Peter Guinness, with the Metropolitan Superintendent Silver Sika and PNG Defence Force Joint Task Force Commander Lieutenant Colonel John Manuai, held a media conference today which they revealed the operational orders that will be implemented tomorrow during the Parliament session. ACP Guinness stated that the inner perimeter of the Parliament House will be fully secured and actively patrolled by the police. The outer perimeter will be monitored by the PNG Defence Force personnel.
The police operations will be basically within the inner perimeter of the Parliament House or Waigani National Court, in the Somare Second and all those areas, St. John Guys Drive. That will be the inner perimeter where more police by staff along. The outer perimeter of the operation will be taken control by the Defence Force personnel.
Metropolitan Superintendent Silver Sika also revealed that the security personnel will be taking full control of the entire city until the Parliament sessions ends.
We started our operations today, and it will continue until the end of the year when the Parliament sessions ends.
Lieutenant Colonel John Manuai expressed that the Defence Force will support and provide aid to the civil powers for the next 14 days.
It's one of our focal tasks, which is to provide aid to the civil powers. So you will see that the Defence Force elements will continue to provide that support to the police for the next 14 days.
Lieutenant Colonel Manuai also warned the PNG Defence Force personnel that if they are involved in any illegal activities, they will be arrested and processed under the PNG Defence Force Code of Military Discipline. Supporting that statement, Metsup Silvasika appealed to the public to not spread false information on social media.
In the social media must stop because you are causing anxiety and panic in citizens in NCD.
Starting today and onwards, over 300 plus security personnel from the PNG Defence Force and police will actively patrolling the city. The commanders have mentioned that more manpower is on standby if anything develops in the coming days. Louis Maingu, National Emtv News.
Prime Minister James Marape stated the rumors of PNG having over 100 billion kina in debt is false information. However, the government has come up with a solution to remove debts of the previous government. He made this statement yesterday at the Pangu Convention Media Conference in Port Moresby.
Prime Minister and Treasurer James Marape said the economic deliveries of the government in the last 4 years has been recorded. He added that the rumors of over 100 billion kina debts is false.
Some are saying, those who do not know the numbers or for the sake of politics are saying we are over 100 billion kina in debt. That is not true. Ask IMF. IMF is not my James Marape's brother or sister or Pangu's relatives. Ask them, they will tell you. Ask Central Bank, they will tell you. Ask ADB, they will tell you. Our debt to GDP remains at 51%. Next year, we will plateau at almost 66 billion debt, and starting 2026 onwards, we will come down. 27, we will hit a balanced budget, a little bit of surplus.
He also revealed that the current government has come up with a solution to pay the debt of all the previous government, including the current government's debt.
And for the first time, we have a solution to remove O'Neill debt, Somare debt, Mekere debt, Bill Skate debt, Rabi Namalio debt, and into the St. Julius debt, including James Marape debt in the last 4 hard years. That plan, this council has endorsed. We're working towards this one, and I want to give assurance to our citizens. We're not playing around, we're not playing mumbles, we're not playing politics. We're not even worried about vote of no confidence.
Prime Minister Marape said the Pangu Party has not abandoned the aspiration they developed in 2019. He said the party is focusing on developing the country for the next 5 years and onwards. Louis Maingu, National Emtv News.
The former opposition leader Joseph Lelang made another statement during his resignation as opposition leader, cautioning the NCD governor and the government to look into the entire administrative and legislative reforms carefully to address the vagrancy issue.
The former opposition leader stated that the Vagrancy Act cannot be dealt with under the current administrative and legislative structure of government PNG has.
I would caution that we need to think about it more deeply. And I'm talking as opposition leader. And the reason is because when we introduced it, the courts threw it out because of the Constitution. It guarantees the freedom of movement of people across our nation, and these are citizens of this country. You can't forbid them.
Leland stated that decentralizing immigration powers at every provincial and international border can be a way forward for this.
You maintain immigration powers so that at every border, let me put it this way, when you have people coming in from overseas, they come in here, they come to customs, immigration, right? And they get, where they go elsewhere in the country, nobody knows. They may end up at Manus or Bougainville or somewhere else, nobody knows. But if you track everybody and you set up in every provinces immigrations, that's why I said you have to decentralize the whole process down.
The former opposition leader further elaborated that this process has to apply to both nationals and expatriate movements in the country.
So you set up your immigration national function, but you set up in the border along all the provinces. And anyone that goes from overseas here, he comes, he checks, comes here, gets a plane, goes down to West New Britain, he has to present his passport. He has to get clearance through immigration again. They will ask him, how long are you staying? 2 days, where's your return ticket? This is the way we deal with rural urban migration. It's not discriminatory to anybody.
Lelang also said that the government must take time to deal with this issue and not rush to implement the Vagrancy Act. Francisca Anania, National Emtv News.
Convicted top lawyer and businessman Paul Paraka has stated that allegations made against him was misleading. He made this statement in an exclusive telephone interview with this newsroom today.
An appeal was made recently by member for Sinesine Yongumul, Kerengakua, in regards to the Paul Paraka saga.
Who are the beneficiaries of the proceeds of those crimes? Who are the beneficiaries? Was Paul Paraka acting alone? Or are there other people who also benefited out of that? If there are other people who benefited from it, why is the police not investigating that side of it, the beneficiaries, people who shared from it?
This afternoon, a call to Bomana was reached through to the convicted top lawyer. Paraka states this.
The media allegations that came up on the minister's last regarding the forensic case, insofar as what transpired, they're all not correct. The two cases, first case was allegations during the time of Sumari from 2007 to 2011. And second case was in respect of allegations made against me for alleged payment between 2012 and 2018 during the former Prime Minister's term. So those two allegations were dismissed by the courts. I've been found guilty and sent this in respect of something else, nothing to do with the payments specifically by the politicians. So what transpired in the media in last weeks and in the social media and they're not true. And all that I can say now is that the allegations regarding politicians authorizing payments to private owners are false and they are not true. And the courts have hit me. The courts have decided expressly that there is no evidence of those allegations against me that there's been some influence. But the police allegations are all false.
Paraka was sentenced to 20 years for misusing around 162 million kina state funds. He was found guilty of misappropriation for alleged payments between the years 2007 and 2011. He is currently serving time at the Bomana Correctional Service in Port Moresby. Grace Papiali, National Emtv News.
National Emtv News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. Minister for Community Development, Youth and Religion has allocated a total of 50,000 kina to the St. John's Ambulance Service. A total of 10,000 kina was also handed to the National Broadcasting Commission of Marake Province. These were the district's initiatives aimed at empowering the communities of Huon Gulf. Minister Peter conducted a ribbon-cutting ceremony to inaugurate a new Yamaha 75 horsepower outboard motor recently. Consort Express Lines announced recently its latest addition to its fleet, the MV Papua Coast. Formerly known as MV Dili Chief, has now been seamlessly integrated into Consort liner operations following its deployment in Consort's network since November of 2023.
General Manager of Consort Anthony Riley has revealed that the Papuan Coast will help deliver increased frequency and flexibility to make sure goods arrive on the shelves when needed. He added, the Papuan Coast will play a pivotal role in meeting the growing demands of customers and further strengthening Consort's position as a leader in coastal shipping. The Papuan Coast will join 3 other similar-sized vessels, MV Bougainville Coast, MV Gazelle Coast, and MV New Guinea Coast, in Consort's liner network and will provide more capacity and better sailing frequency between the 2 main ports in Lae and Port Moresby. Consort is committed to the investment required in supporting their customer supply chains and ensuring that their schedule is market-leading. To achieve this, Consort has undertaken a 130 million kina investment program to renew its fleet, enhance its liner service offering, and importantly, to improve the reliability of its product to better serve its customers. This includes the 25 million kina acquisition of the MV Papuan Coast recently. Steamships Limited General Manager Corporate Affairs Vele Rupa stated that this is a significant investment in Consort's network and underscores their commitment to providing safer and more reliable services to its customers. Gladys Killer, National Emtv News.
First 10 aircraft engineering students from the Architect Aviation College in Port Moresby attained their diploma today. This achievement is described as a great milestone achievement, especially in the aviation space in the country.
This award goes to
This small but significant event today saw first 10 pioneer aircraft engineers graduated with diploma and is described as a significant milestone achievement for the country through the training provided by the Architect Aviation College based in Port Moresby. Addressing the graduates today was the chairman of the CASA PNG board, Hubert Namani. Mr. Namani pointed out the demand to propel the next generation going forward.
So the aviation industry is ever evolving, and it is essential that we equip our aspiring engineers, pilots and aviation professionals with the necessary skills and knowledge to operate and navigate the skies safely and efficiently. It is also worth noting that Papua New Guinea currently boasts 1,123 licensed pilots and 646 licensed engineers, showcasing the dedication and expertise within our aviation community.
The chairman further acknowledged the Architect Aviation College for the training, highlighting it as the first in the country.
Leading the way in providing comprehensive training in both aircraft maintenance and engineering and commercial pilot licensing. With the establishment of Architect here in Papua New Guinea, we welcome an exciting chapter in aviation education. No longer do our aspiring aviators need to travel abroad for training. Architect has brought the aviation school to us right here in Port Moresby.
He further added that the medium-term development plan 4 of the government underscores government commitment to investing in priority sectors as such, and further elaborated.
I firmly believe that the successful implementation of the MTDP4 requires strong partnerships with private institutions and enterprises. Together we can work towards achieving the government's key objectives. On this premise, I am delighted to see that Architect has positioned itself as a valuable partner in this national endeavor, as a licensed flight and engineering school approved by CASA PNG. Architect plays a crucial role in shaping the future of aviation in our country.
Adding on, the managing director for Marake Aviation College, Lawrence Idang, reaffirmed its commitment to further the training.
As we celebrate this milestone, we also look to the future with great excitement and optimism. Marake is not just about the past or the present. It is about contributing to the development in the future of Papua New Guinea aviation. Our mission goes beyond simply imparting knowledge. It is about empowering individuals to realize their full potential, to become leaders and innovators in their respective fields, and to contribute positively to society.
The Marake Aviation College is currently enrolling with limited space for the 2024 academic year. Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
The K92 Mining Limited in the Eastern Highlands Province welcomed 11 graduate students as part of the 2024 class of the K92 graduate program. The program was established to award students who have completed university to undertake a formal 2-year program to improve their development outcomes and increase their prospects for employment.
Since the establishment in 2022, the K92 graduate program was established as a natural progression from the K92 Tertiary Scholarship Program that began in 2019. The included fields of study are geology, mining engineering, minerals processing, electrical engineering, environment, agriculture, accountancy, and information technology. Chief Executive Officer and Director of K92 Mining Incorporation, John Lewins, in a statement congratulated the class of 2024 graduates and excitedly welcomed the 2024 class to the K92 graduate program, one of their many programs delivering on their commitment to developing local talent and supporting Papua New Guinea's long-term growth. He further added that the 11 exceptional graduates selected in partnership with several academic institutions is the largest graduate program class to date, with much importance being that the class is also the most diverse in terms of educational backgrounds because they believe it is important to contribute to the development of Papua New Guinea's future leaders in many fields of study. The class of 2025 will be expanded to include Don Bosco Technological Institute. Claire Mauta, National Emtv News.
And now looking at the NESFAN market report. The kina closed lower at $0.2667 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2592 US, 0.3949 Australian dollars, 0.2328 euro, and 38.35 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed higher, copper closed higher, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National Emtv News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. Moving on to overseas news. The final results from Pakistan's national elections show that the former Prime Minister Imran Khan's candidates have secured most of the seats in parliament.
Two sides are claiming victory in Pakistan, but there is still no new government. Both need more seats to get a majority. This is part of Imran Khan's PTI's party's plan. Protests like these in Karachi, accusing the authorities of rigging the vote. They're challenging them in court and on the streets.
This is the road outside the Election Commission here in Rawalpindi, and a few hundred protesters have gathered. This is not a mass level at the moment, but the idea is that it keeps pressure up while the PTI try to work out what to do next.
In the crowd was Aftab Alam from Oxford.
This country's been in this situation for the last decades, and it's been going on like this. And Imran Khan is the only hope now for this country to get out of this mess.
Why did you want to come down here today?
It's just to aid our peaceful protest that we need to have a respect for people's mandate. The people have shown their desire, their wants Imran Khan.
Meanwhile, Imran Khan's political rival Nawaz Sharif is publicly looking for alliances. Today, his brother met Bilawal Bhutto from the PPP to start formal discussions about forming a government. The two parties previously ruled together after ousting Imran Khan in a vote of no confidence. Will they join up again? As the political wrangling continues, frustration is growing among the many Imran Khan supporters. Just over an hour and a half into the protest in Rawalpindi, suddenly the mood turned and a decision was made.
So we have just been pushed back by a cloud of tear gas that was used on the crowd of protesters that were outside. They've now been completely dispersed. You can see the reaction of everybody behind me as well. No, thank you. Shukriya.
Pakistan has already faced months of political instability, with no answer yet to who will lead the country.
World leaders have furiously criticized former United States President Donald Trump after he said he would encourage Russia to attack NATO countries.
These comments from the Republican presidential candidate came when he was on a stage surrounded by many of his supporters. It was a campaign event in South Carolina on Saturday night. He was doing a wide-ranging speech, and this was part of it. In the middle of it, he started recounting a story of a time when he had a meeting with a number of NATO leaders. Now, NATO is, of course, the Western Military Alliance, which the US and a number of European nations are a part of. It came about after World War II. And Donald Trump says that he was in this meeting and he was asked by some of those NATO countries if the US would offer protection if there was a Russian invasion. Donald Trump says that he told them that the US would not offer protection to any of those NATO countries that weren't paying their fair share, and went even further as saying that he would encourage Moscow to do what they want with these member states who aren't paying their way. It's an agreement of the NATO countries that each of them should be paying about 2% of their GDP towards military expenditure, but a number of those countries actually fall a little below that. So that's what he's referencing there. Of course, this was a campaign event. The language was loose and it was colourful. Let's take a listen.
And one of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want.
The reaction was swift and it was strong. We heard from the NATO Secretary General, Jens Stoltenberg, who said that comments like this put the security of the entire region at risk, including European and American soldiers. The guiding principle of NATO is that an attack against any member state is an attack against the Union. So you had many leaders from Poland, from Germany, the EU Council President, Charles Michel, saying that comments like this undermine security in the entire region. Some other leaders saying that these sorts of comments work and serve only the Russian President, Vladimir Putin. Of course, the Russia-Ukraine war going on and these security threats are very real in this part of the world almost immediately as well. We heard from a White House spokesperson who described Trump's comments as appalling and unhinged. Of course, this was a campaign event. Whether Trump would act on this, and it's also difficult to fact check just how true it was, those claims that he was making, but certainly comments that put a lot of countries on edge.
Australian Ukrainian citizens living in Kiev are saying that they are living in constant fear after Russia launched missiles into a residential area last week.
On the 7th of February was a very horrific event. We had an air raid alert that happened around 6 a.m. and lasted for a few hours. The first hour of the air raid alert, we heard some explosions in the distance, and there was a period of silence. And many of us, I even spoke to my neighbors, decided to, fall back asleep in their beds. But all of a sudden, we heard a very loud thud. I've never heard that before so far while living in Kiev for quite a while since the war has started. And our building was shaking like a leaf. It was really frightening. We ran out to our common corridor. So that is actually what is advised for many residents and Ukrainians. If you don't have a shelter, you try to hide 3 walls away from the window. That's what we did. Myself, my mom, my grandma, I grabbed my cat. We were sitting in the corridor. Some time passed. One of our neighbors ran out and said that the next door building is on fire. It was hit by a Russian missile. We put on our clothes, we ran out, and the scene is horrific, and I can't even find the words for it. People were burning alive, fires erupted, so much soot around, so much smoke, a lot of chaos. It was a very shocking event.
United States President Joe Biden has warned Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in a phone call stating that no military operation should be carried out in Rafah in the south of Gaza.
At the southern end of Gaza, this is the heavily guarded border fence with Egypt. For Palestinian refugees, there is no further to go. Layla Abu Mustafa fled here with her 2 handicapped daughters. Getting on for 1.5 million Palestinian civilians have been forced into southern Gaza, living in dreadful conditions. Now Israel says it will attack this area, claiming it will find a safe haven for civilians in one of the most dangerous places for them on earth. Every day, Layla says, we've been on the run. I can't carry my daughters. We are not moving again. In Israel, which feels a world away, the Prime Minister's allies are backing his demand for total victory.
History is judging us, and if we don't eliminate, Hamas, if Hamas or a terrorist entity continues controlling a territory beside Israel, whether in the north or in the south, then we haven't done our moral job towards our population.
At Israel's parliament in Jerusalem, strains of war are showing. An MP who supported the genocide case against Israel has been accused of treason and faces expulsion.
Defending oneself doesn't give one the right to kill other people, especially innocent civilians. It's very clear. Everybody, myself and my comrades, we were, of course, totally against the terrible carnage that Hamas carried out. But we said from the beginning that the solution is not retaliation, is not revenge, and it's not war.
So what is it?
Only a political solution.
And the strain of war here in northern Gaza. No police, no law and order, food convoys attacked. It's even worse in the south, with looters threatening to paralyze the entire aid operation.
We've seen it growing over the last weeks, and I think as the situation, people become more desperate, as opportunities appear, we see the attacks on these trucks, the attacks on vehicles, and now the attacks on drivers. And so it's become a very lawless area for people then to operate. And for us to operate in that, it's impossible, actually.
We can't get into Gaza's chaotic, desperate tent cities to check Israel's claims that Hamas is stealing the food. The UN says it's young men, not in uniform, mostly unarmed. President Biden has told Israel once again it must not attack here in Rafah unless it keeps civilians safe. One question: is Israel listening?
National Emtv News continues after the break with PNG Sports. Stay with us.
PNG Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. In a recent interview, President of the Papua New Guinea Sports Foundation, Albert Veratau, outlined the foundation's role to sports federations.
Veratau emphasized that PNG Sports Foundation serves as the authorized body for sports in the country.
The role of the federations are. So federations, you need to understand that federations are independent bodies. They have their own constitution, and that's the constitution that manages their sport. And they also have their international affiliations to the international bodies, yeah? And they get governed under that constitution. PNG Sports Foundation is the mandated authority for sport. It's the supreme authority. But PNG Sports Foundation must always respect the independence of the federations and the sporting bodies.
He clarified that while federations operate independently, they adhere to their own constitutions governing their sports and international affiliations with global bodies.
That meeting is about understanding the dynamics around why certain decisions are being made, and also helping our federations to understand the power of consistency, the power of making sure that we sustain the sport, and also making sure that the same people continue to stick around with the team, so that there's an understanding, and it also increases the success rate of any team for that matter.
James Guken, Trukai Sports.
3 Papua New Guineans are taking part in the World Aquatic Championships currently in Doha, Qatar. The 3 athletes include Josh Tarere, Georgia Lea Vele, and debutant Thomas Chen. The World Aquatics Championship started yesterday the 11th and will continue to February 18th. Athletes from 201 countries are competing in these championships, with over 2,600 athletes taking part in 6 aquatic sports. 2 coaches and 2 judges from the Papua New Guinea Boxing Union are set to receive sportsmanship from the PNG Sports Foundation for international accreditation, as announced by the PNG Boxing Union coach and judge Kazu Temu.
Temu expressed gratitude towards the PNG Sports Foundation, stating that they are pleased to receive support from the foundation. He emphasized the positive impact of PNG Sports Foundation President's leadership on boxing, noting an increase in medal wins for the country at the recent Pacific Games.
But I think we have been struggling, to secure sponsors, and that could be one main reason why, we haven't sent our referee and judges out to acquire technical accreditation.
Temu also stated that the upcoming year is promising for the technical officials, particularly referees and judges. James Guken, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
The Port Moresby Rugby Football League is waiting endorsement from the PNG Rugby League Board to kick off the 2024 season competitions.
Port Moresby Rugby Football League competitions manager Meke Maino says the 2024 master calendar and draw is ready, and the association is hoping to get the approval before March.
Coming to the year 2024, we're hoping that the board and the delegates will give us an endorsement on the calendar that we have here. That's the calendar of events for this year, which is tentative. It's not yet endorsed, also together with the master draws.
Mino also said the 2024 master draw has 16 rounds compared to the last year's draw having 22 rounds.
The master draw has only 16 rounds. Unlike last year, we had 22 rounds, and it took up so much time. Right, even up to December, we had the grand final. So our governing board suggested we should reduce the second round. So, say for instance, we got 12 clubs now. If we have 11 games in the first round, then in the second round, probably we should cut it down by 4 rounds or maybe 6 rounds.
Louis Maingu, Trukai Sports.
Moving to overseas sports, the Australian women's basketball team has defeated Serbia this morning 75 points to 73 points in the Olympic qualifying match in Brazil.
The result was a mere formality for the Opals, though, as they had already qualified for the Games thanks to their win over Germany yesterday. And it was after that game that Lauren Jackson revealed she would not play on in Paris, saying it was a fitting end to her national team career with Australia.
Western Sydney Wanderers have drawn 3-3 with Newcastle in the Australian National Soccer League competition yesterday.
A brilliant double from Lockie Brooke had put Western Sydney in front, but then Tate Russell gave away a penalty and was issued with a second yellow, so that means he was off. And it meant the Jets were able to equalise from the penalty spot before scoring again to take the lead. But a stoppage time header from captain Marcelo helped the Wanderers claim a point in a controversial fixture. In the A-League Women's, a late winner from recalled Matilda Chloe Lagazzo helped Western United to a 3-2 win over Brisbane. That takes them into second place on the ladder.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus. With you always.
The weather forecast for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City, partly cloudy with few showers and drizzles. Daru, cloudy periods with some showers. Kerema, partly cloudy with brief showers. Alotau, cloudy with few showers. Popondetta, cloudy with few showers. In the Bomase region, Lae City, partly cloudy with few possible showers. Medeng, cloudy with some showers and drizzles. Wewak, partly cloudy with few showers possible. Vanimo, partly cloudy with few showers and drizzles. In the NGI region, Lorengau, partly cloudy with few possible showers. Kavieng, cloudy periods with chances of brief showers. Kokopo and Rabaul, partly cloudy with brief showers. Kimbe, some showers and drizzles. Buka, cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, cloudy periods with few rain showers, then morning fog. Goroka, Bands and Kundiawa, cloudy with showers and possible thunderstorms. Mendi, Tari and Wabe, cloudy periods with possible thunderstorm, then morning fog.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus. With you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Monday, the 12th of February 2024. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.